Hello everybody, we're here at RemoteCon with yet another very interesting product demo on remote work tools. Here with us now we have Toasty, a platform to successfully run collaborative virtual meetings. Toasty is a video conferencing platform for virtual meetups, workshops, and team meetings, where hosts can facilitate highly interactive experiences in small teams. It was originally designed for offline settings, but the recent coronavirus pandemic has pushed the team to expand to a virtual setting. One of nowadays' challenges is not only to get people to sign up for an event, but also to keep audiences engaged and present during the whole virtual session. There are so many distractions nowadays that are just one click away. Before co-founding Toasty, Kevin Chang co-founded also First Code Academy, teaching kids how to code. And if he can actually get a 5-year-old to sit down and learn how to code, I think he can teach us a lot about online interaction. Kevin has founded Toasty in 2019 in Hong Kong, and he's the current CEO of the company. For our demo here today, we have Kevin. Hello, nice to have you here.
Hi, Alexandra. Good to be here.
So online engagement is actually, I think, one of the hardest problems everybody's trying to tackle nowadays. We have been pushed to this online environment, and we realize that it's actually quite difficult to communicate through a screen and through a virtual environment. How are you trying to solve that with Toasty?
Yeah, so we have been working on this problem for quite a long time. I think right now, if we look at online meetings and workshops, a lot of them are like what we're doing right now. It's just verbally exchanging information and looking into each other's eyes, which is quite okay for 2 people. But when you have like 10, 15 people, it's just unproductive. So our theory is that if you want people to be engaged, you just need to get them to actively be thinking and actively be participating. When they're doing that, I'm sure they will walk away being really excited and engaged.
That's very interesting. Can you actually show us a bit through the platform and actually show us how it works?
Sure. Yeah. Let me share my screen now. And I'm going to hop to Google Slides. So before I start talking about Toasty, I want to spend maybe 1 minute to talk about what is happening right now, because 3 months ago, when COVID hit us really hard, a lot of people are moving their virtual meeting and workshops online. But what we are seeing is that we just moved the format from offline to online without changing it, without adapting it. But that's actually quite risky because in an online setting, everything is different. You have to be a lot more intentional. So what we're seeing right now is that 95% of the virtual meetings are actually quite unproductive. And I want to share with you why it is that way. So first of all, if you get online, a lot of people think, oh, they are my colleagues or acquaintance. We already know each other, so let's just get straight to business. That's actually not the ideal way of starting a meeting. You're better off like warming up a little bit before getting into the topic. So what is happening right now is full of awkwardness. Second of all, I'm sure some of you might agree with me. There are some senior people, there are some outgoing, talkative people, and they basically just dominate the conversations. So the other people, they are sitting there waiting for their chance, or maybe even waiting for the meeting to be over. So these are really critical issues. And for professional facilitators or coaches, they're pretty good at this. So right now what we're seeing is that they're using different tools to enhance the experience, to engage people. But I would ask you a question. If you have like a 45 minutes meeting, are you going to spend like 5 minutes to ask people to log on to a different tool and then use it for 3-4 minutes? No one's going to do that. Time is valuable. So juggling between different tools is quite hectic. And lastly is a lot of times as someone to host a meeting or to run the workshop, you have a ton of preparation to do. For example, what icebreaker questions should I use? Or how do I get people to talk about this topic? How do I like move between different tools? So it's just a headache. So for us, we basically look at the whole flow of the meeting and see how we can help. So let me just bring you to the demo. And I'm really excited to be showing you this. So this is what you see when you go on toasty.ai and after you log in. I'm going to start a new session here. So it's basically an online space. You can invite anyone for a meeting, workshop, whatever you want to do. And let's not worry too much about the template because I'm going to tell you more. And here I am. I'm seeing myself. I'm the host. And let me just quickly explain like what the platform is doing. At the bottom, you see the basic video conferencing control, who's here, what group they're in. So I'm going to show you here. Right now we have nobody, okay? So I'm going to join with my other laptop quite soon. But the key of Toasty is really on the right-hand side. So other than chat and Q&A, anonymous Q&A, I don't think I need to go into those. Everyone sort of knows them. But it's really this engagement activity toolbar that makes Toasty very different. So let me just quickly go through it. First of all, on the first two, it's about grouping people into small groups so that they can have a better conversations. And then the next one is individual response, group response, and poll. So in a meeting, oftentimes you have to guide the discussion. So you can use this activity to do it. I'm going to show you in a second. And lastly, we just talk about full of awkwardness, right? So you want to warm people up and you want to give everyone a chance to talk. So we have conversation cards and who said that. So now just give me a second. I'm going to invite myself on the other laptop just so we have a name on the screen. So I'm going to pretend to be Alexandra, if you're okay with that.
It's okay.
So we have one participant. Yay. The meeting is about to start. Okay, so I'm going to show you two features today quickly. The first one is about driving conversations. So we are using conversation cards. So if you come in here, you might think, usually when you run a meeting, you'll be like calling people out. Hey, Tom, what's your view on this? Hey, Jennifer, what's your view on this? But if you use conversation card, not only you can do some icebreaker, but you can actually choose to have a custom way to customize the card. So you can say, what's the biggest challenge of our team in this quarter? Or what's the biggest challenge working remotely? You can type in questions like that. But for time purpose, let's just pick a set that we have created for you on Toasty. And you can choose like whether you have a time limit or no time. Let's do no time. And let's do it in the main room instead of breakout room. So I'm going to add that. And because I want to show you what a host can see and also what a participant can see, I'm actually going to double down on my computer and open another tab. So just give me 1 second to make sure the audio is doing okay. So over here, I'm going to pretend to be Tom. Okay. And I'm getting in, so you should see 3 people now. And if I mute this, everything is all right. Okay, we're ready to start. So conversation cards, here we go. If I start now, you can see as a host, I'm in control of everything. So I can see that the activity is starting. All right, counting down. But if I come over to the participants page, you can see that, okay, there's a little tutorial guiding me through. And most importantly, now, okay, it's not my turn yet. It's the other computer's turn, Alexandra. So on the other computer, I can flip over a card. And Alexandra has maybe 30 seconds, 1 minute to talk about this card. And then once she's done, she can click end turn. And then it's my turn. And then I can flip over a card. And then I can say, are you a trusting person? And then I have the time to talk about this card as well. And once I'm done, I can click end and the activity is done. So just now, Alexandra asked me, how do we keep people engaged online? By getting them to express their views. This is the best way to get them to engage. So that's the number one activity that I want to show you. Any questions so far, Alexandra?
I'm good so far. Thank you.
Okay, great. I'm just trying to move this sidebar. Okay. Second features I want to show you very quickly is a lot of this engagement, they have to happen in small groups. If you have 20 people, you're not going to make that happen or productive. So what you want to do is split people into random groups of 3, and you can easily add that to your agenda list. And you can see this is a great way to structure your meeting, make it more structured. And then we're going to do a group response. So the question I want to ask is, what is the biggest challenge of working remotely? And I want people to respond in text. Okay, so what I can do now is I can start this activity to break people in groups, and you'll see the magic. Within 3 seconds, we have formed Tom and Alexandra in the same group. And then what happened next is we can break into breakout rooms, and we can get them to work together on this problem and send back a response. So let's do that. Let me send them to the breakout room. So it's going to count down, and then let me show you what Tom, the participant, will see. Actually, they will see that they're being moved to a private room for that discussion. So in this room, it's just Tom and Alexandra with each other. And I can kick off this activity. And the activity is about they working together, submit an answer to the question, and then the host can bring everyone back to the main room to do a debrief. So it's very effective discussion. So let me show you here. Collaboration. Type it in. And then as a host, you can see that everyone has submitted an answer, and you can bring them back to the main room. So what I'm not able to show here is that there actually would be like 5 different groups. So every group will work on it, and you can see it. So every group has some kind of ideas to share. But now I only have one group, so it's a bit hard to show that. But yeah, so that's pretty much Toasty platform. Yeah.
So just out of your experience up until now, you have more than 1,000 organizations working with you, from what I know, from over 54 countries.
That's right.
What's their experience with the platform? What was their, let's say, improvement after using Toasty?
That's a really great question. I think a lot of people, they come to Toasty because they see that when they're relying on just a video conferencing platform, the conversation often goes off track, and then people are not involved. They're just waiting for the meeting to be over. But with Toasty, everything is structured and everyone is involved, so it's more collaborative. So they can really achieve the results that they're aiming for.
And you know, people are humans of habit. If they get used to a platform, they don't necessarily want to change it. So in this context, I'm wondering, do you integrate maybe for the interaction part? Do you integrate with other platforms, or are you planning to kind of have some sort of overlap with some other existing tools?
Yeah, that's another really great question. For now, because we are still a young platform, so we are kind of a standalone. You do everything on Toasty. But I think with technology, the best way is really integration. So if we can integrate with other video conferencing platform like Zoom, WebEx, Microsoft Teams, that would be awesome. But we're not there yet. If they watch this video, please contact me.
And let's say, as a final word, how do you see this remote work evolving and remote environment evolving? And what do you see your company? What's the role your company you see have? And for a final question, how do you see this remote work environment evolving, and what's the role your company you think will play in it?
Yeah, so I've been talking to a lot of our users, and we work with facilitators, coaches, consultants, and remote managers. So for the facilitators, I was shocked when I hear this. One of them told me that they used to run workshops 100% offline, and he's planning to be 100% online in the next few months. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, it's because it's really cost efficient and you don't have to fly all the executives to the same country. So for us, we really think, of course, not everything is going to be remote, but it's going to be more and more and more because of cost saving. That's the most important part. But I think the bottleneck for all of us right now is that how can we recreate the same collaborative experience and move it online? I don't think we're there yet because we're all still figuring out, but I hope that Toasty can play a part and really enable that same kind of in-person experience, but do it online. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you for being with us. Thank you everybody for watching. In today's online world, navigating the online most efficiently is a must. It requires people to pay attention and be engaged. Toasty is the quickest way to get everybody to participate. Try it out, find out more about Toasty on the RemoteCon website, and join us for the conference for more online tools. Thank you.